Hey y'all, my name is Mindy Horde, and I am an almost 38-year-old mom, wife, and what we nowadays call it bonus mom. I was born in South Korea and adopted when I was 9 months old. I grew up in California and then had my first child when I was 18, and 2 years later we moved to Texas together and we started a life and an adventure of growing up together. It was totally crazy and chaotic and scary and overwhelming, and now that she's 19, looking back, was such a wonderful time in my life. And man, my story has so many different chapters, and I keep peeling away little parts about my story and opening up and sharing it and dealing with it and coming to terms with it. And really, what started my journey of self-discovery was finding a stranger almost 7 years ago that inspired me. And I was somebody who lacked motivation and lacked inspiration. I really had never known any positive people. I really didn't have any role models, and I felt defeated all the time. I felt like a failure all the time, and I just felt hopeless and helpless. And somebody who was a complete stranger that I stumbled upon by complete accident, which now looking at it, I don't believe it was an accident. I believe it was the universe bringing the right person into my life. She changed my life. I saw this person that was driven, that was motivated, that was hey Lou, that was such a great example of what type of mother and person I wanted to be. And I started to dream bigger and started to think that maybe I had the same potential, because she made me believe that I had that potential by watching her, by having her share what she was doing. And it was so encouraging. And so because a stranger decided to share her story, and because a stranger who is really like me in so many ways, but the exact opposite in other ways, but because she took an interest in me, because she believed in me, because she wanted to see me succeed and to have the same story that she did, and because I leaned in and because I trusted her, because I was at the end of my rope, my whole life has completely changed. I'm now somebody that others consider and call fit. I am now what other people look to for encouragement, motivation, inspiration. And I am somebody that people trust and value. And my opinion is something that people really value. And I never thought I would be that person. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a huge family that has supported me. In fact, nobody was there telling me that I was amazing or that I was going to do great things. I didn't even have a plan in place to do amazing things. College wasn't even on the radar. But I am so amazed that somebody took the time to reach out and to help me, and has still never given up on me almost 7 years later, and helped me believe in myself, helped me do the things to improve myself, and has never left my side, and has helped me become a better human being, a better wife, a better mother, and helped me build a business that generated 6 figures for the last 5 years. And that is something that is just incredible to me, that I never thought that that was something that I could do or was possible for me. And now because of that, I keep dreaming bigger. And I haven't been sharing what I do as much as I used to. And at some point I thought maybe I lost interest. Maybe I lost that passion. I have ADD. I have always just skipped from thing to thing, person to person. I've been married 3 times, and I've had over like 40 jobs, and I've went through circle of friends after circle of friends. I can't stay put very long in one place or in one location. And so, I've thought about it. And then lately I've been really focusing on my mental health, because that's such a big part of my journey. And I decided to get back on my depression medication because I was seeing all the signs. And I don't know what your definition is. I'd love to hear what your definition of depression is, because everybody has their own definition. Just like I'm almost approaching my third anniversary of being sober, and everybody has their own definition of what an alcoholic is. But I really felt, to me, that what depression looked like to me was it was accompanied with suicidal thoughts. And as far as suicide goes, everybody has their own opinion. It's something that's really big now, that's more talked about, and it's more prominent to know. And my husband and I were talking the other day that we have several friends that have taken their own lives, and it's something normal. But it's sad that it's normal. But for me, suicide was what equaled depression, like suicidal thoughts. And it was never that I wanted to really leave my family. It was just this, I can't live like this. It's what goes on in my head sometimes. It's just, I don't want to live the rest of my life like this. But I haven't felt like that. I haven't felt, I guess I came to terms with what I deal with every day that goes on in my brain that people don't understand if they don't have it, if they've never experienced it. But I thought that because I didn't have those suicidal thoughts for the last 2 years that I was fine, but I was displaying all the other symptoms of depression. So I made the decision to go back on my medication and go back to therapy. We've moved from Texas to California, and there has been so many great things that have come because of that, and I'm happy. And that's the crazy thing, is I'm actually super happy. But there's been so many changes in my life, and somebody with ADD, somebody with mental illness, changes can trigger these things, and I knew it. That's why I went back to work part-time, because I knew that I've instilled, coping mechanisms over the years through therapists and psychiatrists and all this different things. And I've been really using that to help benefit and keep me on the right track. Journaling, meditation. I've been listening to, hypnosis in my sleep, personal development all the time, working out, eating good, all the stuff that contributes to good mental health. But I still felt this way. And it's just the adjustments. I had to leave my girls behind in Texas. It was totally a mutual agreement between everybody. My daughter actually just started college, so I was going to be away from her anyways. But it was really hard, and it still is a really hard thing. And I'm raising my stepson full-time for the first time. I'm back in the town where so much of my trauma happened that I think that I was healed enough to come back here, but it still is triggering. So there's all these things that I'm dealing with. And so I knew the signs. So I went back to therapy. I went back to my depression medicine. And now, I believe that I haven't went live for a really long time because I was struggling. But because I've been on my medication for the last 5 days, and because if you've seen my recent post, I finally have hope that I don't just have to learn to cope with what's going on in my brain and all the mental illnesses that I have, but that I actually can fix and rewire my brain through EMDR therapy that I start on the 1st. So all these things that I'm implementing, but really more than anything, I wanted to share with all of you guys is that everybody has their different story. And if you don't lean in, if you don't reach out to somebody and you don't talk to them, you're always going to feel alone. And that's something that I struggle with, of always feeling alone. And it's a story that I tell myself, is that I'm always going to be alone, that I'm always alone. And then I start doing the things that actually make that story come true. And so I've had to learn to lean in and to do the things that will make me better, because I deserve it and because it's possible. But one I want to share is that I don't know what I would be like now, but I know that my life would not be where it is, and I would not be where I am now, and I would not be taking the steps that I'm doing, or even be as far as I am emotionally, mentally, and physically, and health-wise, if it weren't for getting started on my health and fitness journey that started without really any real goal other than I wanted to fit in my clothes better and feel better. If I hadn't said yes almost 7 years ago to a stranger, and I'm sure you see people talking all the time about challenge groups and fitness and all these different things, and what I didn't realize is how much more life would be given to me, and how much more enjoyable life would be once I said yes to that. And so many people won't do that because they don't have the energy. They're too tired. They're too scared. They're this or that. And I get it, because I had all those things. I was insecure. I was, felt like I didn't know anything about health or fitness. I was worried what people were thinking of me. I had never worked out. I didn't have motivation. I had kids. I had all the excuses that I hear all the time and that you probably have. But I did it anyways because I want to change. And when you finally have had enough and you're ready for change and you're ready to do something different, big things can happen. And because of that, it's this, cascading effect of great things start happening in your life. And I owe that all to a stranger. I would have never confronted the things that I have without her help, without the tools that she delivered to me that I offer to all the people that I help. I truly believe I would not still be married. I would maybe be on my fourth husband. I don't know. I think my kids and I would not have a good relationship. I would still hate myself. I would probably still be addicted to drugs and alcohol, and I would not have the circle of influence and the positive people in my life to help me. And so my life's not perfect. I always try to share the good and the bad, and I try to only share the bad when I've started implementing a solution that I'm looking into, so that I'm not just delivering doom and gloom. But I share my story, and it all got started with health and fitness, and it all got started with working with a complete stranger who believed in me. And I hope that if you're watching this, or if you've been reading my posts, or if you've been following me, that you reach out to me, or whatever it is, comment on a post, direct message me, call me, because I can help you. And I understand what you're going through. And sometimes you just have to say that you're ready for a change. So many people just go round and round doing the same thing. Like the saying says, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting for a different result. But so many people get caught in doing the same things over and over and over again, so that they can keep saying, I've done everything and I just can't, change anything. My relationship is this, or my health is this and this. And it's when you do that, you're just basically giving yourself an excuse to stay the same and blaming other people for why you're not changing. Like for me, I've just been kind of doing the same thing with dealing with my mental illness, and now I'm deciding to do something a little bit different, because I don't want to stay in that victim mentality. I don't want to just settle for this life. And for me, it started with health and fitness. And if you are looking to improve your life, any successful person out there, they take care of their body. They take care of their mind. And so if you want great things in life, fitness and health and well-being and personal development, all the things I do are a part of it. You're never going to get those things if you don't master that. Health, wealth, and health and wealth are all linked together. And so I encourage you to reach out to me, or reach out to somebody that you have been watching, and ask yourself, why not me?